Ooh.
Okay. Just waiting for. Are we live?
Yeah, I can see us.
Okay, brilliant. Hello, everybody who is on this stream. Welcome to our second session of Hell's Rebels. I am your game master today, Ashen, and these are my lovely players who absolutely nothing bad is going to happen to them, honest gov. So this is our second session of this brand new campaign where we are raising money for the British Red Cross Society, which does all sorts of amazing work both in the UK and abroad, helping with crises and helping across any and all borders because they get across the borders because they're the British Red Cross. That's why they have that symbol. Let's get right back into the game because I've only got you guys for a few hours. Last time we started. Hold on, I've got too many noises in my mic. There we go. So we started with a lovely little protest in the city of Kintargo that has been under martial law over the past few weeks, as implemented by the new Lord Mayor Barzillai Thrune, who I think everyone can agree is a bit of a rotter, all things considered. But we had a lovely little protest. We got to meet our lovely little player characters, and then the lovely little protest turned into a less lovely little riot. There was a lot of fighting all around. Some people did nearly dropped. Everybody else jumped into the rescue, and all of our players, all of our characters, managed to get away safely. And so we'll pick up immediately right where we left off, which was the group of you standing in the middle of an alley, hiding from the Tutari and the Chadish City Guard, having seen a strange angelic figure having come round the corner, holding a very scared looking woman or escorting a very scared looking woman under their arm. And we'll pick up right there.
I think we're through. You should go now.
Okay, thank you very much. And she kind of scurries away from you, looks at all of you in alarm, and then scurries past the rest of you and into the alley and bolts for it. So it's just you guys in the alley. I will say that Aurora's character, whose name I definitely remember, Evie, is going to be quiet for this session for the foreseeable. So Evie's quiet, but the rest of you are all there.
Hello. Um.
Greetings. This is not a safe place. We should.
No. We were just leaving, weren't we, guys? We were just leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're going to the pub. Actually. Yeah. No, we were just on our way to the pub, and then we ran into this terrible to do, and now we're on our way to the pub. So let's. Shall we?
You're right. We should leave. I will pull up my hood, which does very little to disguise the fact that got feathers for hair, and start moving through the streets towards a pub. I know which pub we're going to because I had a conversation with another party member about going to that pub before, but they probably don't realise that I know that. As I have a completely different height, build, and everything else than when you last saw me.
You're getting very much a very strange look from
Yeah.
under Asmoth's hood.
Hopefully
Yeah.
the bastard managed to circle around and find his way there.
Wist is kind of glancing at you askance, like trying to, like, obviously hoping that everyone else would move and that you wouldn't decide that, like, it's like he's, when you say bye to someone and then you're awkwardly going in the same direction, it's that, and he's, oh, are you okay? He's coming too, okay, and he's just going to try and style it out, but probably quite unsuccessfully.
Okay. So the group of you leave this alley, attempting to like break away from this feathery, barely hooded person who just strode into your group, and they're very much not only following you but kind of taking the lead on where to go to the pub. There are still just sounds of chaos from all around you. There's screaming and yelling far back in the direction that you came from Aria Park. There is the sound of shouts from what sound like official types. There are doors slamming and just the whole city, the whole immediate area in this city is feeling like kind of the ripple effects of the riot breaking and everybody running for it. And you're moving through this part of the city with this kind of very tense energy around you. I would like all of you to roll perception checks for me, please. Okay. So Whist and Asmoth are the first ones to hear, in amongst the yelling, in amongst the people running, in amongst, pardon me, the door slamming and everything else. They are the first ones to hear the sound from a nearby alley that sounds like metal on metal, like something clashing, very similar to what you just heard, but on a much smaller scale.
All right.
From an alley coming up on your left.
I think there's a fight, guys.
I would agree.
Lean in, take a peek around.
Okay, you have a lean in. You peek into this alley. You see a bunch of these Challenge Citizens group people, so the ones that you were fighting before with the armbands and the truncheons and mallets. These ones seem to have gone straight for lethal weapons. Also, half of them are already on the floor. As you see these 5 people basically starting to gang up to this lone figure who his hood has fallen away, revealing kind of like dark hair, a bit of a very well maintained like short beard, and he is currently swinging at them with a weapon, wearing only one glove, as one of them manages to knock him to the floor with a yell.
I run in.
Yeah, like,
Law.
yeah.
All right, put yourselves on this map then, please.
Hang on, that's the guy.
That the guy.
That's the guy.
Doesn't
Okay,
even-
pop yourself on this map and then roll initiative for me, please.
How do I do it again? Sorry.
So if you grab your name, drag over to the map, and then kind of pop down,
Oh
and there
yeah,
you are.
here I am.
There you are.
Thank you.
No worries. Just +1 for these guys. Oh, they didn't roll very well. Turn order.
Oh, I didn't roll very well.
There we go. All right, and okay. Is that everybody? Oh, we've got your old turns as well. Actually, hang on. I didn't work very well. I forgot to take you guys off the tracker. Okay. Oh, that's how. So that list was 2, so get rid of that list. I'm gonna leave Evie off this for now because
Makes sense.
1, 2, 3, 4. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Yep, that's all of you. And then I've got the one turn order one for the other guys. So we start with Blue Blood. You're up.
Let's have a deep sigh, mutters something about heroes, and starts rushing forwards.
Okay. And as you rush forward, some of the other ones, so some of those that are immediately in front of you, start shouting at you to leave off before there's trouble for you. But you rush in all the same. Is that your full action to get to that
Yep.
distance? Yep.
I'm
Cool.
quite slow.
That's fine. Then it is our vigilante, I believe.
No, I think it's Thursday.
That's Gideon.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
Gideon? That's Gideon.
yeah,
Yep, sorry.
That's protection from law,
Okay.
and use my movement to draw my rapier.
All right. Are you moving up as you're drawing your rapier?
Yes, if
Yep. You can draw a weapon as part of a move action. So if you are moving as well, then you can draw a weapon as you move up.
cool. So my base movement is it's not 40. That would be absurd. It's 20, 2, 3, 4, 10.
Okay. Okay. Now it's our vigilantes go.
It is indeed. Is this man sort of on the floor defenseless, or is he on the
He-
floor still defending himself?
He has fallen to the floor, and for the moment, I'll say he's not moving.
Okay, in which case I'm going to be a bit more risky. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2. I'll move right up to this guy
Mm-hmm.
and pull out my sap.
All right. Is that your turn?
That's me. That's a double move to get all the way over there.
Cool. Asmoth, I've just seen that you're seeing your current health. How you doing there, buddy? Cool.
I'll be okay? Question mark.
Fine, it'll be fine.
Just gonna move there.
Yeah, okay. Now it is their go. So, these two are gonna move up to this guy and start basically causing trouble, shouting at the other three to deal with you. This one is gonna move up to Blue Blood and take a swing. Uh, 10 doesn't hit you, does it?
Not even close.
Cool. All right. This one is gonna move up to Asmoth and take a swing. Does 15 hit you?
15 is my AC.
So yes, if it matches, it hits you.
Right.
Damage is. Oh. All right. Yep, that's 8 damage. That was maximum on the mace.
Cool.
And the one that's right in front of, I do not remember your vigilante's name rather in this one. Sebastian. Right in front of Sebastian.
Yep.
Is gonna be, oh, that was the 6th on the dice. So they just swing wide against you.
Excellent.
And it is Whist's turn as you see your new hooded companion immediately get dropped to the floor by this thug pretending to be, well, masquerading as a citizen guard.
Well, I can't be having that. He's the contact I spent all bloody day waiting for.
Oh,
and
2
I'm
people
not
have dropped.
Pardon?
There's the contact you're trying to look for, and Asmoth has also just dropped.
And Asmoth has dropped. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Sorry about the swears, but my goodness, it's all shit's hitting the fan, isn't it? Okay, Asmoth. Right, okay. So if I go here. So I'm a very small little gnome.
You are a small gnome. I'm pretty sure small creatures only have 20 foot of movement.
Is it 20 foot? If I met, am I giving myself 5 extra feet? Like
Mhm.
a
Like a
Like a
filthy
5th edition player.
fifth edition player. Yeah, no, in Pathfinder, small creatures have 20 foot of movement.
oh no. Okay.
They've only got little legs.
Unless you're a
You only
kobold,
got
I
little
believe.
legs. You got little leggies.
Okay, right, okay. Well, this is riskier than I'd like, given that I'm squishy. But I'm gonna go 1, 2. In fact, no, first, hang on. I'm gonna
Mhm.
check if I'm in 30 feet of Asimov here. No, as if. I'm gonna step forward 1 space.
Okay.
And then I would like to, if I may, Ash, I'd like to get out my sling,
Okay.
but like emulate having the shapes, and just completely fumble, drop the stone while I'm searching for the stone on the ground. I'd like to try and channel heal him, but like I'm like fidgeting. Oh no,
So
I'm
you're
such
gonna-
a klutz.
So the channel energy will happen regardless because that's you activating your power.
Yeah.
I would say this would probably, because this is you disguising your magic. Yeah, we'll
taken
put.
taken
we'll
bluff for the in the hopes that would work.
So the ability that your archetype gives you, but that's only if you're pretending to like cast
Yeah,
another type of spell, which this isn't. So yeah, roll a bluff for me.
thank you. That's very
Just to see if
kind.
they don't work out what you're doing.
So subtle.
Okay, no one knows that this
Good.
strange wave of healing energy that pours over Asmoth and Gideon comes from you. This fight has broken out. Everything else, oh boy.
They probably don't realize because it does 1 hit point, because it's a d6, and
Yeah.
whereas last time I rolled a 6 on the dice, this time I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It means I'm not bleeding anymore.
You are not
Yeah.
bleeding.
The dice giveth and the dice taketh away, I'm afraid.
You are now stabilized on -4.
So
So you won't. So he won't be bleeding anymore. He can't get back up unless he gets more healing. So Asmoth, you're gonna have a bit of a nap.
It'll be fine.
20. Hang on, sorry, I just need to figure out. I moved.
Oh, one of the things about Pathfinder, you cannot break up your moves because there's a specific feat for that.
Oh no. Okay. Can I have? Would you allow me to have done that at the end of my move then? Because I'm trying to figure out how to do it so
Yeah.
that I can do this within 2 actions and hopefully get the contact up as well.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. So I
but
can say you
next
will have done that. To be
time-
fair, none of the other guys have taken damage yet, so you're not going to accidentally be healing any enemies because they're not
Yeah.
hurt yet. So yeah, you
Cool.
can have done that closer. That's absolutely fine.
Thank
Blueblood,
you.
it is your turn.
Blueblood is going to take a quick glance right, see that
Mhm.
things are going not so well, and try and draw attention to himself by yelling out, "By the light and the sword!" and swinging.
Okay, go swing. Hey, bada. Well, that hits. Yep. You don't just swing with your halberd. What happens is the halberd comes up and skewers this guy. He lets out a horrific shriek of pain and then drops to your feet. Blood everywhere. He is not moving. You still have a move action if you would like to use it.
Yes, I'm going to rush over to this guy, keep his
Yep.
attention.
Yep, absolutely fine.
That's my turn done.
Cool. Gideon, you're up.
Okay, I will see. So I will charge forward to here to attack this person that's
Yep.
Sebastian's engaging.
Yep, sounds good. Roll me the charge.
So this is at, I believe, +2.
You get a +2 for your charge, and you'll have -2 on your AC for the next attack.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. No, 19.
Yeah, that does do that damage. You cut into them. They do indeed yell out in pain. They don't drop yet. But that was a very nasty blow. Another one of those, and you think you've probably downed them.
Cool.
Next we have Sebastian.
Right. These guys are very clearly using lethal weapons, right?
Yeah.
So I go to hit him with my sap, and I punch him full in the face with my metal gauntlet instead.
Roll it for me.
That is only a 12 to hit.
Unfortunately, their AC is one higher than that.
That's fine. I
So
rolled poorly. And then I will take a 5-foot step.
all right, you little steppy. Great, love that. Asimov, you are stabilized. So you do not need to make me any stabilization rolls. You are, however, still incredibly unconscious. So nap time for you. As the other ones go to attack. So these two who are about to these two that were on this fallen contact who you've just jumped in on, you could tell like they were gearing up to do a coup de grace move, like proper cave his everything in with these maces. But now you've stepped up and they're like, oh, fuck that kind of thing. So this one steps up to you, Sebastian.
Yep.
Goes for a swing. Ooh, that's a 21 to hit.
That's easily a hit.
Cool. Love that for me. That is 3 damage.
I have more than 3 hit points currently. I take 3 damage.
Cool. This one steps up to Gideon, and the one that you've just hit also hits at you. So that's going to be 2 hits against you, Gideon.
Cool.
First one is a 12 against
Miss.
your AC -2.
Yep, still miss.
Cool. And the second one is a dirty 20.
That will hit.
Okay. That one is 5 damage.
Cool. And I'm
So
concentrating. So I need to roll a
oh,
concentration.
I don't think protection from law is a concentration spell. Let me check.
I think it is.
Concentration is different in Pathfinder to how it works in 5th Ed.
You're right. No, it isn't. It's just a minute per level. So yeah.
Yep, minute per level. You need to do the concentration if like you're being threatened when you're casting, but it's already up. So that just stays up until you dismiss it or drop. In that case, Whist, it's your go.
I would like to know, is Caden Kalian outlawed? I don't want to drop Gideon in trouble if
Okay.
it is if he is
So-
outlawed, but if he isn't, and that's an easy thing for me to bluff that Gideon's doing it and it ain't me, then like if it's fine for a cleric of Caden Kalian to use their powers and that's fine.
I'm a cleric of the good god. I am probably not being a fan of the
Yeah.
So
but like not being a fan isn't the same thing, right? Like, because like they might not be a fan of Abadar, but like
So this is the thing. Abadar very much has a church in the city. Quite a few gods have a church in the city. Caden doesn't. Caden very much falls into the same bracket as a lot of the heroic, good and shiny gods, which is Kintargo is absolutely fine with them. Cheliax is very much not fine with them.
These assholes won't be.
That kind of hellish dogmatic energy against the good gods is coming out through not through the general populace, but in a lot of these guys, for example, who are full Chelish loyalists, would not look upon Cade and Kayleen lightly.
Okay, so I won't bluff that he's doing it and not me.
To be honest, at this, yeah.
Just go
Pardon?
nuts. Go nuts.
Is
yeah.
everyone... What?
Go do it if you want to do it. Like it's all. I've already attempted murder on 2 people in the employ of the city.
Yeah, but there's a difference between you throwing yourself under the bus and me throwing you purposely under the bus. That's like a very different vibe.
Rachel, what are you doing?
Okay, so aura. If they detect good on me, I ping overwhelmingly.
These guys are mooks, but also Rachel, what are you doing?
2, 3, 4. I know I'm right there, but I have to be if I'm going to get everyone in. And I know I'm going to hit some of the guys, but I think it's worth it.
Okay.
I trust on my pals to beat them up. So I am going to challenge Divinity. I guess I'll try and hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure who's next to me here.
That is Blue Blood.
Blue
It
Blood.
was very loudly called out a very Iomade saying.
Yeah, you did hear that. You did very much caught that as well.
What did you say?
By the light of the sword, which is Iomade's title.
Yeah, he's probably a paladin then. Sure, he's committed to this bit. I'll definitely. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm going to bluff that this is some sort of magic sword power he's doing. Sure, why not?
Oh.
He's already said by the light of Iomade. It's not me doing that to him.
You'll need to do the bluff so that people can't tell the magic's coming from you, but no one's going to question it because you are it's come from one of you. All right. So those who aren't paying attention to you, okay. So those that aren't paying attention to you, they feel this wave of magic and they're too busy fighting to pay attention. The one who is standing in front of you next to Blue Blood sees this kind of wave of energy wash over you guys and then comes and meets your eye.
I put my hands up. The tips of my ears are turning bright red. I'm just... And I don't know what to say. Experimental magic.
Everyone heals 6 points.
Yeah.
So this guy who was originally down by Blue Blood does stir to consciousness. Asmoth stirs to consciousness. Your contact stirs to consciousness. And one of these guys took some damage and looks fully healed from it. But it's you guys. You guys can handle this, I'm sure.
Oh, I thought I killed him.
Oh no,
so we did.
So you took him to negative levels. I was just gonna have him dead, but then he got healed within the same round. So
I personally feel like you guys took them out in one round, getting our pals up. Surely this action economy is better.
All
Maybe.
Right. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Blue Blood, you're up.
Okay, let's try and protect our hooded friend.
You definitely protect your hooded friend. So this guy glares at Whist, kind of confused, turns back to you as you skewer him. Straight up. Asmoth, you wake up just in time to see the guard that downed you drop right next to you, not moving. Albrecht, would you like to use your move action at all, or are you staying where you are?
Yeah. So I'll give a salute as he's waking up, and then make my way over to body block.
Cool. All right. Gideon.
Attack this chappy here.
Yes.
12 doesn't hit, I assume.
That does not hit, unfortunately. You've just
Is
missed.
he flanked?
No, he would only be flanked if somebody was in this square.
Sure.
Because it has to go through their token. So if you
I'll
if your friend was
5
one
foot step to there.
at that point, the next attack would be flanking. Yes,
Yeah.
as long as your friend's threatening them.
Cool.
Okay. Sebastian.
Right. I'm pretty happy with where I am, so I'm just gonna punch the guy directly north of me.
Okay.
I can't seem to roll above about 5 though, so I missed.
Unfortunately, no. So
we move on.
That does whiff, yeah. Asmoth, you have just stirred to consciousness after a wave of. What does your channel energy feel like, Rachel?
That is a good question. I think it feels like it feels like being like sort of dropped into like a nice warm bath.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
So you're roused with this sensation as life starts to stir back into you. You still feel very much wounded and do very much need some medical care after this, but you are currently alive. It will take your move action to get to standing, but you can stand without any issues because there's no threats around you.
Yeah, so I'll stand up and
Mhm.
I'll move.
Yeah.
Here, just so I'm not within easy reach of anybody.
Yeah. Key.
Trying to set myself up into a tactically advantageous position.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
And turn.
Cool. All right. We've got a bunch of attacks coming in. So 2 coming in at Sebastian first because
I'm there.
Gideon sidestepped out of the way of one of them. So first one up is okay. So that is a 22 and an 18 to hit from
Those
2
are-
attacks.
Those are both hits.
Okay. Oh my god. So that is 4 damage off the first guy,
Mhm.
and the second one does 8.
Okay, I would drop to the ground.
Okay, so
Oh, no.
Sebastian drops. The one who's fighting Gideon rolls a 7. And the one who's fighting Albrecht also rolls a 7. So 2 hits, 2 whiffs, but unfortunately the 2 hits do drop him. I should, singing as you got your friend up, I should double check something. While I do that, Whist, it's your go.
So I think now that the majority of people are up, sorry, Sebastian. I think it's try and drop some people so I can then help Sebastian not just keep healing all of the big boys for a while.
Mhm.
So I am going to try and attack this one. Oh, sorry, I got the wrong.
Okay, the
And
one in
I'm
the
gonna,
middle.
yeah, and I'm gonna get out from my big wizard's cloak I'm
Mhm.
going to reach in, and where you might expect a wand to come out, I'm just going to bring out a dagger, and I'm just going to like loose a dagger at him.
Okay, so dagger has a range increment of 10 feet.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Well, I can
so you could be
definitely
throwing it-
move forward.
Yeah,
So you can throw it further. It just
yeah, you can
penalises
throw it
you.
further. You'll just take a penalty when you do it.
So I need to be like here.
So that is
Ugh,
15
come
feet.
on. There.
That's 10
Sorry.
feet. So yeah, now you can throw without any penalties. Actually, you're throwing into melee. You don't have point blank shot, do you?
No,
Cool. Let me double check what that penalty is.
-4.
I think it's minus
It's a
4.
-4. Yeah. So you are rolling with a -4 to hit him with his dagger.
I mean, it's going to be terrible. I am not a fighting character.
Roll high.
All right.
Roll
Yeah,
high!
no, I'll get a natural 20, actually.
You get a natural
Uh,
20.
but I
You
don't
won't confirm the
confirm.
crit. You won't confirm the crit, but you will roll the natural 20, and you do slice into part of his shoulder with your flying dagger.
3 piercing damage, apparently.
No, that's 2 piercing damage. If the crit confirmed, it would be 3.
Oh, right. Okay, 2 piercing damage. Thank you.
But you do 2 damage to that one. So he yelps in
Most-
pain, spins around
Most damage I've
sporadically.
ever done in my life.
At which point, I believe it's a full round action to get up safely, isn't it? It is. So your contact, who up until this point has been on the floor, I'll just say at the end of the round takes his full round to get up safely, without triggering any attacks of opportunity from the others. Albrecht.
I'm going to take attacks of opportunity for this guy in order to charge.
Okay. An 8 doesn't hit you, does it?
It does not, no.
Cool. All right. That mace just swings wide as you charge in.
Ooh.
Unfortunately. Oh, wait, no, hang on.
No,
You charge.
that's including the bonus of charge.
Is that including the charge? In that case, that misses, I'm afraid.
it?
I don't see the +2 in the macro.
Yeah, I don't either.
He's
That's 'cause I'm
taken.
using power attack, so I changed
Yeah.
the -1 into a +1.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see it. Yep, no, that's fine. Cool. So you're power attacking, which, yeah, okay, that's fine. All right, we move on to Gideon.
Right, same guy. I gotta hit at some point. Oh wow! God damn it!
Or not, apparently.
Yeah, allegedly.
Even with the flanking from your companion now standing upright, that won't be enough, I'm afraid. Sebastian, you dropped. No healing has happened since you've dropped, so roll me a
Con check.
constitution. A con check, please. Trying to
Because
remember what the DC is. It's
10
plus,
plus my negative hit points. So
which are at.
I'm at -3, so but I
Okay,
have a
so-
+1 con, so I need to roll a 12 or above.
Okay. You stabilize.
I do indeed.
Cool. Just as a reminder, we do have a pool of bonuses to the stabilization rolls if we need them. We didn't that time. But if in the future you guys drop, let me know beforehand and we'll get some +1s added to your rolls. Asmos.
So damn it. Okay, I'm going to take 5-foot step. And I was hoping for a flanking opportunity here, but that's fine. I think I'm still under the effect of my mutagen, aren't I? Unless it's
How long does the
been-
mutagen last?
10 minutes per level. Has it been more
It's
than 10 minutes?
been more than 10 minutes since you guys left the fight, just because of
Dramas.
the fact that you had to run through the city and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
You can make those up multiple times a day, can't you?
It
As
takes
long as
an
you've got the
hour.
time. It takes an
It-
hour to make
It takes an hour, and I can only have one dose on me at a time.
Okay, that's fine.
So that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up to this guy and hope that I can maul him to death. So I'm going to make 2 claw attacks at him.
Okay. Unfortunately, both of those miss.
Of course.
All right.
Yep,
Anything else?
that's my full round. So
Okie dokie. Well, that's going to be 1 for each of you and 1 for your friend. So we'll start with the one against Albric. Nope, Matt misses. The one against Gideon misses. The one against Asmoth misses.
what did he roll?
And
What did he roll?
he rolled a 6.
Definitely, yeah, no, because the 15 was my mutagen AC, so
Yeah,
my
no,
normal AC is 13.
The highest there was 11. And he misses your friend. So your friend dodges out of the way. As we get to Whist's turn.
I mean, it's just I'm so bad at it, but I guess I'll go in with another dagger.
How many of those do you have?
I brought quite a few with me. Hang on. So I have 10, but I should imagine that I've probably brought like 5 as that I could reasonably hide easily,
I see. Yeah.
given that I have a pocketed scarf and stuff as well. No, I miss.
That is very much a miss, I'm afraid.
That clatters along the ground.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go 5, 10, and in fact that will be 15. I'm gonna stop there so I can be next to my pal in the hopes that I'll get a chance to bring him up without him immediately getting cut down again.
Cool. Alrighty. We get to your friend's turn. Your the person who Whist recognizes at least, who, while still very much kind of like holding his side from where he's still injured, does a 5-foot step away. And then will summon, kind of wave his hands for a second and throw a bolt of acid at the one standing over Sebastian's body, but it goes wide. Unfortunately, so he tries to throw some acid at this one, goes wide. Albrecht, it's your turn.
I was hoping for burning hands, but that'll do.
He doesn't have burning hands.
5-foot step and then attack.
Okay.
There we go.
That does both hit and drop that guy. I put a lovely little X on him. So he is down. You are down to 3 combatants. Is that your turn?
That's me done.
Cool. Gideon.
Cool. I mean, I need to get my game on. Back the same
Mhm.
guy. Praise Caden Kalian. Just roll high.
Yep, that's a crit.
Take 16 damage.
Yeah, you like you have a rapier, right?
Yeah.
Exactly how do you drop this person with a critical hit?
Sword through the heart.
I love it. I love it. All right.
And I'll
Okay.
5-foot step over his corpse.
Okay. Just a 5-foot step.
I should probably go and I'll do a move action here
Okay.
to
All right.
about our cloakhead friend.
Cool. Sebastian is still unconscious. Asmoth, you have a flanking bonus on this attack.
Hooray! Okay, so double claws.
Both of those hit.
Cool.
Oh, the damage. Oh, the damage. Oh, wait, no. He already took a bunch of damage. He's
Well,
gone.
here's another. Well, I was going to say, if that's not quite enough,
Yeah, no, because you're flanking. He is. What is that? That's 9, 20, 4 damage. Right? Yeah. That's...
He dead.
Oh, it's not. I'm reading the crit damages there.
Yeah.
Sorry. So it's 9,
9,
11,
11, 16 damage.
16 damage. That's still enough. He is kaput. Just absolutely shredded is that one. As he also drops to the floor. And then there is one left, and it is his turn, and he sees all of his friends have dropped. He sees the rest of you, bar one, are up, standing and turning towards him, and he just goes, "Fuck this." Throws the mace, doesn't hit any of you with it, and just tries to run. I don't even. Yeah, no, he runs for this alley here and goes that way off the map. Does anybody try to chase him, or do you let him go?
No.
Oh, I can't outrun him.
That's what I
I'm
want
no-
to check before
I'm
I
in
just
no
take him off the
condition to
map.
go running.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, he disappears down the alleyway. You hear his feet. You hear him retreating quickly. And there are in total 8 bodies in this alley, 4 of which were from you. The other 4 you can only assume is from the person who still has like magic gathered in his hands, is kind of panting slightly, is still very much being very gingerly holding his ribs, looks around at the rest of you and goes, "Well, I just think you all saved my life."
Yeah. Talking of that, anyone got a potion at all?
Oh, I do. And he pulls out a potion. Your friend definitely needs it more than I do, and he will hand it over to whoever takes it.
Yeah, I'll administer a potion to Sebastian.
Does anybody else actually? He kind of looks over at you, Asmoth, and goes, "You're also looking rather beaten up after that. I do have a couple of others if they are needed."
It is a
What?
D8, isn't it? I just rolled a
It
1
is
on the
D8 plus 1.
dice.
It's D8 plus 1, so that is a 2.
2. If that doesn't work, I'll go. I think you gave me a dud, mate.
I did no such thing.
Well, I mean, look, it hadn't worked.
If there was another one, can we please have another one?
He hands another one over to Whist to hopefully bring up Sebastian, pulls out a third one, he goes, "I don't appreciate you calling my potions duds.
Well, I've only seen what there is.
That
Anyway,
is going to be 7, because it is plus 1 as well."
Okay, so the first one took me to -1. The second one takes me to 6 hit points. I kind of cough, splutter, shake, look around. Say, did we win?
yeah.
Yes, friend, I believe we did. And he's still holding a third potion for whoever tries to take it, or whoever asks for it.
As Asmoth is looking very askance at it, like, and how much money are you wanting for it?
"You just saved my life." And he kind of holds it out to you. "I can make more."
Benadryl. And takes it and necks it.
Okay, that is a 1d8 plus 1 on a Cure Light potion.
Ashton, I will have sheathed my rapier, drawn my dagger, and I will be coup de grace every guard.
Okie dokie. Well, everybody can choose to notice that or not as they heal up. And this man is standing in front of you. In fact, I've got a full body shot of him somewhere. Let me bring that up. You can look a little less stretched. But this is the gentleman that you see in front of
Absolute
you.
unit.
Unit.
The final boss.
Yeah, this appears to be a Tarask dressed like a pimp.
So,
He's
sorry,
Go
I've
on.
just got a quick order of operations questions. It did take me a little time and a little bit of debate to get me up. Do I regain consciousness before the throat slitting is completed? Because I probably should say something. But but it did take a while, so it might. And slitting throats is relatively quick in Pathfinder.
So considering the fact that they are already no, because it's a full round action to do a coup de grace. So it would have been, I would say, by the time you've woken up, Gideon has probably slit the third throat and is moving over towards the fourth as you're kind of becoming aware of your surroundings.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a quick perception check to see if I notice what is going on, because I'm lying on the floor and I just regained consciousness.
Yeah, that's fair. You do spot Gideon with an already bloody dagger walking over to the fourth body.
My friends, please consider mercy. This is not. It's not the path of the righteous. We're better than they are.
More the wrath of the righteous.
That was a name drop right there.
Mercy is for the guiltless.
I ask you this: do you think they would have offered us any mercy if the roles were reversed?
Well, if
I think that's really the point.
If we take that kind of line of thinking, then we excuse all atrocities. But I will let you work this out amongst yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't think that's the point. And also, just saying, his mate's got away. What a great line for Thrune next week, right? Not only were the rioters rioting, not that we were there, but they also just killed a load of guys. 5 guys, throat slit. Probably not a good look. If you're going to be that,
Well, if we want to make
cold-hearted about
sure,
it.
if we want to make sure that they don't say that about us, we should probably move quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They were
Have
already
any of you
out on the floor.
have any of you heard of Chrysales?
No. I'm not
It's a lovely little bookshop, 3 streets over. I'm friends with the owner. She'll give us a back room if we want to continue this conversation away from potential eavesdroppers.
I will look over at Gideon and say, your conscience is your own. They would have bled out, but you are killing them. Be better.
They are enemies of all that is good. They are servants of an evil man. And the resistance against his rule needs to begin in earnest.
I'm not saying don't fight. I'm saying don't slaughter.
Should we move this along? And
Yeah.
This gentleman kind of like steps around a couple of the other bodies, like looking rather a little queasy and a little like upset at the sight of it, but very quickly like moves along and leads you all down a few streets to
Before leaving the alley, Asmoth will like wash his hands off in the in that little well basin, whatever it is?
Yeah, no, absolutely
Oh.
not a problem.
Can I gather up my 2 daggers? I don't have a lot of money.
You can gather up your daggers. You can gather up your daggers, not a problem.
Yeah.
Kind of is dusting himself off, leads you back out into the streets. Despite the noise that came from that fight, you don't seem to have attracted any extra attention around. Everybody is still too kind of busy and distracted with the aftermath of the riot and getting to a safe and quiet place. And this gentleman leads you to a lovely ornate little bookshop called Chrisley's Fine Tomes. And he steps inside and he goes, right, yes, there's a door. If you go past this bookshelf, right a little bit, and then there's a door. I just need to grab something very quickly, and he goes over to the counter.
Can
to
I
have
make a
chat with him.
cheeky sense motive check?
You can make a
please?
cheeky sense motive. Yes, please do.
Sorry, I had to close down my page because it was just having a bad moment. So bear with me a
Roll
moment.
20 does that sometimes. If anybody else wants to make a sense motive at this point, they can.
I'll cast a quick detect evil over.
This man is not evil. I'm assuming you're detecting it on your contact.
16 on sense motive.
Cool. Asmoth, you're just generally a paranoid SOB, so like this guy seems all of us and all of flurry, and you're just there like, Whist and Gideon, you both get the sense that this person, from the moment that the fight ended and I was actually able to talk to you, has been nothing but genuine.
Cool.
As he goes over to the counter to talk with a lovely, I'll say half-elven lady at the counter. And you guys can either head on through to the back room or wait for him there and he'll lead you through.
Cool.
I'll
Yeah, I'll
head.
follow.
Okay. You guys head into what is a rather small back room. There are a few chairs in here. There's a small table. But there's also plenty of room to stand and things like that. And you kind of there's shelves on one side with all sorts of various other books and stuff. There's some storage boxes and crates and things set about as well. And as you guys kind of settle in and get a look around, this person follows behind you holding a polished wooden box kind of tucked under his arm, and he hurries in, closes the door behind him, sets it down on the table and goes, very good. Now we can all talk candidly. Jen's a good sort. She'll make sure that nobody can overhear any of us here.
Candor is a dangerous business for people who fight the forces of Thrune on the streets and agitate at his speeches.
Well, from what I saw, none of you agitated the moment. If anything, and he kind of looks over to Gideon and goes, because he didn't see Albrecht do his thing because he thought Albrecht was a guard at the time. He looks over to Gideon and goes, if anything, I saw people trying to quell the louder voices that were trying to cause disruptions. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Candor is a luxury in times like these, and he's pulling off the glove on his hand. So, to lay out the trust, I shall start. My name is Rexus Victor Cora. It is an honor to meet all of you, and again, thank you for saving me back there. I feel my life would have ended a lot quicker if you hadn't have shown up when you did. Anybody who would like to can make a knowledge nobility or a knowledge local check on that name.
I'll give it a shot.
I actually have knowledge nobility. How bizarre. God,
Okay.
we're all really good at nonchalantability.
All
Almost
right.
like it's a useful skill in this game.
It's a harder check for Sebastian because it's a local based check, but all of you recognize the name Victor Cora. Because Victor Cora was one of the 10 major noble families in Kintargo. Those of you who rolled knowledge nobility notice that I said were then, because up until this person standing in front of you, everybody in the city assumed that they kind of died. And Asmoth specifically will know that the reason why everybody thinks that they're dead, or at the very least missing, is because on the Night of Ashes, which was a week ago, where fire sprung up all over the city and there was anarchy and chaos in the streets, one of the places that was torched and burned to the ground was the Victor Cora estate.
Forgive me, I'm not local. Do not know your name.
Ah,
You
right, yes.
explain who you are, please.
Oh, that's absolutely fine. Are you familiar with any of the noble families in the city?
No.
Okay. Well, there were 10 major families in the city, and my family was one of them. And as of a week ago, I am the last surviving member of my family.
Condolences.
Thank you. But I didn't come here to mourn. No, I came here because there is work to be done. And after seeing the lot of you in the protest, and after seeing all of you at that point, and hearing about some of you, and his eyes kind of glance over Whist as he says this.
Yeah, Whist is kind of like looking at him and waiting for him to engage in what Whist's actually interested in, and he doesn't want to just burst out in front of all these people, but it's like he's losing patience.
He says, so he kind of says, and after all of that, I very much feel, if those of you who are willing, let me start again. Everybody in this room, from what I can tell, is of the opinion that Barzillai Thrune is a cancer upon the city. Everybody in this room, from what I can tell, thinks that Thrune and his followers, his Datari and his proclamations and his martial law should be driven out as quickly as possible. In that case, I would very much like to ask for your help in doing so.
Yes, I came to this city for this reason.
Wonderful. That makes that easier then. Rex is Victor Cora, as I said, that is my name. I've not really done this before, but it seems to have been a family business of sorts. So, and he opens up the box that's in front of him and spins it round. There's a bunch of things in this box, but on the top there is a faded letter, and he pulls that out and he goes, "This will probably explain things a lot easier than I can in this moment." And he kind of holds it out for somebody to take.
I'll reach out.
Yeah.
All right.
As this is going across, Whist can't really help himself, and he said, "Look, where's Lanry? That's you were meant to meet me, and instead you were just wandering around. I don't know, just like spying on a load of guys, hoping that we turn up at the last minute and save you. Where's Lanry?"
That wasn't why I was there. I was there to try to find you. I do promise that. But I was also there because the city needs hope. The city needs somebody to spark that first, not just protest, not just anger and everything else, to actually bring that first spark of rebellion to the streets. That is why I was there.
And that's Lanry.
I know
Where
it
is she?
I've been trying to find her too.
So you don't know. Okay.
Was this a friend of yours?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Are they likely to have been arrested protesting?
I mean, no, she's real smart. Unlikely, but then, I mean, whole noble houses died last week, as we found out, you know. Who knows?
I'll start to read the letter.
Okay. Here is your letter. I'll read it out loud, just in case. So it says, "My dearest son, if you are reading this, what I have feared has come to pass, and I am dead. For many years I belonged to the Sacred Order of Archivists and have worked to free Kintargo from Chelish rule. I have learned much about Kintargo's secret history and fear the time will soon come when the city needs the return of its Silver Ravens. You have likely not heard of the Silver Ravens, few have. Mentions of them have been redacted by the agents of House Thrune, but during the Civil War, the Ravens worked to ensure Kintargo's safety. They were heroes in their day, and I fear that Kintargo needs their kind again. Do not believe the government's claims that Lord Mayor Bainalus abandoned us. Darker things are afoot, and I fear that all who work against Thrune may find themselves in danger in the days ahead. The Silver Ravens maintained numerous hideouts within Kintargo's walls during the Civil War. I have located one such site, the chambers below a building known today as the Fair Fortune Livery. If you are reading this, I was unable to seek further answers there myself. Gather heroes to your side, my son, and search below the livery. There, if my research is correct, you will find something to teach you more of the Silver Ravens and their legacy. Do not let my death be in vain. Stand up for Kintargo. Bring the Silver Ravens back to life. With love, Portia."
I'll finish reading the letter and put it on the table. Family connections can be turn up in the darndest places.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing important. Just thinking about my mother.
I see. Right, yes.
Who was
Your
that letter from?
my mother.
What you say that you believe they were murdered by the government during this Night of Ashes?
That's what the Night of Ashes was. It, or at least that's what I suspect it was. The easiest way to take out any loud voices, any potential threats to their regime and rule, disappeared that night. My mother, Lord Mayor, had already long gone, although based on certain suspicions, not by her own choice. Lanry, and there are others who would have taken up the mantle, who would have been that voice and been that rallying cry, who all either disappeared before that night or disappeared on that night. In the middle of chaos that ran through the whole city. It didn't even need to be the perfect smokescreen, because what happened there happened everywhere. But some of the places that were hit, some of the places that burned down, and some of the people that have gone would have been my first allies in trying to rally to this cause.
It sounds like they formed surgery to remove troublesome elements.
An apt analogy, actually. Unfortunately, those troublesome elements are people, and some of them are people that I very much loved and cared about.
Actually, do I recognise Rexus as a noble?
You've definitely seen him at parties.
I
You
I
travelled
turn-
in the same spheres.
I turn to Sebastian and say, that is why we cannot take half measures. We did not start this.
I don't agree with you. Like, it's
Sometimes killing is necessary. Murder,
yeah, but
not so much.
yeah, what's the point if people can't, like, if things can't get better if you just kill literally everyone in the way? Isn't that what he's doing?
Taking the life of agents of government that are actively killing people in their homes, that are doing these kind of things for no obvious reason than to be tyrannical despots. There is no reasoning with them. We cannot convince them to put down their evil aims. They cannot be talked out of it. They literally serve devils.
Like, yeah, no, you're right that at some point you got to fight, but I don't think that's what Sebastian's. That's not the problem. It ain't the fact that we fought a load of guys and some of the guys dropped. It was the fact that once they dropped, you just like did them in. That was the problem, right? Like,
If they had bled out in the street, what would the difference in end point be? They would be equally dead. This way, I made sure that they were no longer foes
yeah,
of ours.
I mean, for one, optics, but for two, just like, I mean, you then put the onus on their mate, right? Their mate could have then run back and rallied them. He could have done anything. If he decided to be a coward and run, that's his choice. But I guess you took that choice from them.
That is 4 less people to oppress and murder innocents in this city. And when I die, I will go before Lord Kalian and I will account for it. As we all
right.
will if we die, or if this city falls to these devil worshippers.
The
Have
gods
those
I
armies
follow are more merciful and believe in a chance at redemption for all but the most damned of souls.
And if you think that people who willingly bow the knee to the thrones are not damned indeed, then I do not believe that my words would convince you.
They won't. But if 1 in 100 of those people could be brought back to Caden Kalian, to Serenray, to Shellin, and to Erastil, if one of those 100 people could be brought back to the light, is that not a worthy task? And what do we say to the followers of the Goddess of Mercy? What do we say to the Guardian of Civilization and his kin when we say, join us, fight through? How do we make that argument? How do we say we are a better choice if you use the weapons of the enemy at all times? I'm not saying don't fight. I'm not even saying don't kill. I would be a hypocrite indeed. I carry lethal weapons. But you take choice from the.
Abadar still has a temple within the city.
Erastil does not. Shellin's
expect Erastil to have a temple in the city.
Shellin's temples are watched over by the forces of Thrune. No service can go through. The forces of Serenray are gone. Iomade, eyes flick over to the others, as in hiding. What do we say to them? How do we rally those people?
I would expect Iomedeans to agree with me. Besides, there have been other Cadenite priests who have come to the city to provide that particular balm. I am not an orator. I am not here to spread hope by word and prayer,
Why not?
because that is not my talent.
So, what do you believe we should do? Do you believe we should take a position of total war and kill
Yes.
every single follower of Thrune and every single of his acolytes? Should we take up the dogs that he is stealing and training and kill all of them as well because they are our foes?
The difference is they did not choose to serve Thrune.
And you believe that Thrune and Devils never use blackmail, persuasion, dark bargains,
That is
money,
still-
greed.
That is still their decision. They have a choice, and that choice is to follow Thrune. Dogs, beasts, they are malleable through training. They do not have free will in the same way that you and I do.
Humans can be just as malleable if you apply the right
There
pressure.
is always a choice, and it's the choice that every single person in this room makes every day to do the right thing or the wrong thing.
But
Yeah.
there
it's hard.
there are extenuating circumstances where somebody is forced to make the wrong choice because that is the only choice presented to them. We are talking about a totalitarian state implementing its will over the people. There are going to be people that are caught up in all of some of the pomp and pageantry that comes with such things. There are going to be people that are stuck in a situation where they cannot make a choice. We cannot make that choice for them. We can show them the right way.
If you wish to engage in rehabilitation, by all means, my policy will be not to spare our enemies, the enemies of the free people of Kintargo. Call me a fanatic if you wish.
We will
I-
spare them if they surrender, and not before.
Do not wish to call you a fanatic. I wish to establish some bounds. If we are going to become an extra legal force of vigilantes and rebels fighting against the forces of Barzillai Thrune, as
Also, may I interject?
of course, speak.
I may well call you a fanatic because I literally have no other way of referring to you. I realize now we are the only people whose names I know in this room. Mine and our nobleman friend over here. Who are you all?
I'm Gideon Greaves, formerly of the Free Cities. My father financed rebellions against the Chelish during the independence movement. I learned at his feet that freedom is worth most any price. As you can see, I am a priest of Caden Kalian.
Fair enough. You may call me Asmoth. See, as the people are hesitant.
No, I'm just there's like this atmosphere, and I don't know if it's my turn. I'm not trying to be hesitant. Right, I'm Whist. I'm a wizard's apprentice. My wizard is missing. Not really very good at magic though, so don't know how much help I can be. I've got my little sling. I've got some daggers. Um, sometimes I've got some potions. Know a couple of spells, but you know, honestly, if you could get if you could get my mistress here, you know, she'd be much better. But I guess I'm here until we found her.
You seem to do very well all by yourself, and I appreciate everything you've done.
I mean, I haven't done much, but yeah. Cheers. I'll raise a glass to you again.
Sorry, boot buckle. A few moments later, a completely different person sits up at the table. I've actually met a couple of you before. I'm Sebastian Holdfast.
Sebastian?
The charitable soul from the rally.
I don't think I've ever met you in my life, but
Oh, well, that's
nice
a very
to meet you.
clever trick. It's what Rexus says, like staring at you in wonder. It's a very clever trick.
What in every hell are you doing here?
It's a long
I've-
story.
Very interesting group of people I've come across.
You may call me Blue Blood. Not comfortable just yet sharing my name. But I am a paladin of Ionidae.
Cool. Yeah. You see Rexus kind of look you over and give you a nod and doesn't seem to respond to you in any other way. He doesn't seem to recognize anything about you. Right, well, good that everybody knows each other's names if we're going to be assuming everybody here is happy with working together on this. He kind of points to the letter that is in front of Sebastian at this point and goes, I've been trying to piece together bits and pieces and everything that my mother knew since I got that letter. But the long and short of it is there was a group within Kintargo that did what we're hoping to do now, called the Silver Ravens. And they left caches across the city, which are hidden to varying degrees. Some are hidden, some are abandoned. We don't know the state or locations on most of them. But my mother did manage to find the first before the attack. If you are willing to go with me, I would like for us to start there and see what information has been left there and if there's anything that we can use to help us. They've done it before already. They may have very well laid out the blueprints for how we get this up and running.
It seems as good a place as any to start.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yes.
I mean, I appreciate that I am asking a lot of you. And the livery that we're going to is said to be haunted, so I won't expect you to do it for free, of course. He turns back to the box, kind of ruffles through it, and pulls out a rather ornate-looking silvery key. Pockets that, looks over the rest of the box and he turns it to the rest of you and goes, "That, I hope, will be payment enough for an escort and exploration through the Fair Fortune livery."
I don't even look in the box. I'll do it.
I do look in the box.
Okay, you see 150 gold pieces, a noble signet ring, which, what was your yeah, you recognize the symbol on it as the Victor Cora sigil. You see a silver dagger and a set of braces.
When exactly are you wanting to, do this expedition?
The sooner the better, but I appreciate most of us are rather wounded and possibly out of breath after that excursion. So,
A night's rest would be appreciated.
right,
Uh,
yes.
I'm inclined to agree.
Okay, right. Well, hopefully Laurie will be able to put us up. Unless you guys have other places you can rest for the night.
I mean, I'll head back to the shop. I've got room for a couple of people on the floor if they want.
I have a place in Red Roof.
I'll take you upon that, Whist, if you have no objection.
Yeah.
I can also house anybody that's wishes for
So
safe haven.
that all sounds like a very good idea, but it's not quite curfew yet, and you did say there was a lot going on in the city. Perhaps in my rather less obvious guise, I could go around and perhaps gather some information if there's any particular things you would like to hear about. I've got a few contacts in the odd tavern or two. I could talk to some people, see if I can gather some rumors. Just if we're going to do this seriously, we should have our fingers on the pulse of Kintargo.
I can go with you if I can store some things here.
Not here. Like I Jen's a friend and she'll let me use the room and the space, but
If you give whatever you need to be stored, I'll take it.
All right, just wouldn't need to be walking around fully armored.
that does sound like it will attract attention. All right. In that case, I will go lay low. The Fair Fortune livery. Do all of you know where that is?
Do we know where that is?
It will be a very easy knowledge local check. To make.
I'm not trained in knowledge local, so
Honestly, it's kind of a common knowledge type thing for those who live here. The only one who's not common knowledge for is Gideon.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't have the skill. Not gonna make the check because it wouldn't make sense.
I will attempt to describe it using landmarks,
All right.
assuming that I passed.
You know that Fair Fortune livery is in Red Roof, so Asmoth immediately knows where it is because it's near where he lives. So it is. All right, it's towards basically the corner of the city, as it were, very much southeastern corner, off away from a lot of the other traffic and stuff. But Sebastian can give enough of a description to those who aren't quite sure in order to be able to get to the Red Roof area, and then you can potentially find a meeting place somewhere else and then journey up together or something like that if you wanted to do that instead. All right. So, yeah.
Whist, I can
Yeah.
appreciate that you might not want me to do this, but do you want me to ask around about your wizarding master? Up to you.
I mean, where are you going? Where were you planning to head?
Um, I was going to talk to the man on the street, the man on the Kintargo Omnicart, if you will.
I
The
mean,
see if they've
like,
people have seen him being hauled in by guards, or
I don't know if
vanishing off. Or
yeah,
she, sorry.
I guess, I mean, you could say you had an order in at the shop and I don't know anything about it. You're trying to track her down.
It's a plausible
Just
ruse.
don't. Yeah, I wouldn't. Don't look. She's probably in enough trouble as it is. I wouldn't. Don't push it. You know.
I can be subtle when called for.
All right. Yeah. I mean, if you had an order, maybe some sort of like spell. What's it called? Spell component that you needed. Maybe it hasn't come in or something.
Yep.
You're just trying to find her and find out the details because
Yep.
I'm useless, so
Yeah,
makes sense.
What was her name again?
She's called Lanry.
Lanry.
Yeah, Sorcerer's Supplies.
Lanry of Sorcerer's Supplies. I'll attempt to do some subtle information gathering. Right. Blue Blood, shall we hit the streets?
Yes, Bluebird will start. So he'll take off all of his armor and pass that and a halberd over to Gideon. And then underneath, he's wearing like fully embroidered velvet nobleman's clothing.
Is there any embroidery on the clothes?
Yes. Because I am a scion of House Tenesset who is explicitly allowed to wear it.
All right.
All right.
You need a cloak or a coat.
Consider this my disguise.
I mean, you stick out quite a lot, mate.
So Rexus kind of frowns and like looks you up and down. And he still hasn't recognized you yet. But the way that you're suddenly carrying yourself is like, that's a very bold move.
In this city at this time, a loyalist to Thrune is the least noticeable thing in the city.
Okay. I'm gonna just like tap Sebastian, probably on the hip, given that I imagine he's quite a lot taller than him. Just go, good luck.
Yeah, nope, still doesn't. Actually, let me make him roll just a general intelligence check to see if he just sheer up remembers you at this point.
I'll say a gnome. I'll need it.
You definitely will. Oh, it's like there's almost a spark of recognition there, but it's kind of one of those like, I think I know your face, but the names on the tip of my tongue kind of things. That's the kind of expression he gets on his face now when looking at you.
Suffice it to say, there is an important reason why I'd rather my name not spread.
All right, Blue Blood. Let me leave first then, because he kind of looks you up and down again, looks at Sebastian and goes, "Good luck." and leaves the room. He has taken the letter with him, but he has left the box.
I would like to look after the signet ring, or objects.
No objection.
I think appraise is an unchecked. Actually, no, you'll probably know this because you recognize a noble signet ring. So you know that if that signet ring was to be sold, it would go for 75 gold pieces. Anybody who investigates the other items, you can tell that the dagger, first of all, is made of silver, and second of all, that it is of masterwork quality.
Fine weapon.
Silver
And
has many interesting properties.
Bane of devils.
That is one.
At present, that seems the best quality to possess.
and if somebody wanted to investigate the braces, now would be a time to do so.
I will cast detect magic.
They are magical. It is a I think it's an arcane check to work out what school of magic it is, or a spellcraft check to work out what the properties of the item are.
I could give an Arcana a go.
I can tell you it's their magic, but
23. Time to
Okay,
pretend I'm a wizard.
cool. You can tell that that there is a conjuration aura on these braces.
Okay. Oh, they're like some sort of conjuration braces. Don't know.
Actually,
Maybe
now
they.
that you've done your Arcana checklist, you can do a spellcraft check as well yourself if you want to.
That sounds like something I don't have.
It is a trained skill.
Oh no, I do. I do.
You have that.
It's 15.
Oh, now I've got to check what the DC is for spellcraft.
I think it's 15 plus the spell level.
Probably. Identify the properties of magic item, 15 plus items caster level. What did you roll?
15 precisely. So
Oh, just
unless it's a cantrip or
it is not a cantrip.
I'll say it's some sort of conjuration on there. If you gave me enough time, I could probably figure it out.
Yeah, that's
hard,
something. You can investigate them basically once a day until you figure out what
yeah,
they do.
hard to do it without the correct reagents. The crystals and the various mirrors and apparatus that we use. So I can do my best, but it's hard. Just at a glance.
Spend the day with them.
All right. Well, you do now know that those are magical at the very least. And I think that was everything in the So there's the gold. Albert's taken the signet ring. Has anybody taken the dagger?
I will ask, is anybody a particularly deft dagger wielder?
No, I've got them, but it's a last resort.
Def. But I am fairly handy with a knife. In multiple applications, I hasten to add.
No judgment here.
I feel I should make an explanation for myself. I am surgically trained.
That would explain your analogy earlier. Either yourself or I'll glance at Sebastian. I have no objection to you taking that.
Are you particularly enamored with this dagger, Sebastian?
No, but I smile over at Gideon. There seems to be a conflict where we need to use every weapon that comes to hand, even if it's not quite what we'd normally go for.
I agree.
I slide over towards Asmoth.
Donka takes it and sort of slides it into the belt and sort of shuffles it so it's kind of hidden inside the coat. Of course, I am more than happy to share and share alike. If someone is of need of it and I am in a situation where it is of no use to me, I am happy to relinquish.
I'm
How-
sure. Go ahead.
Sorry, just to point out, with silver weapons, because I don't know if anybody's used them before, because it counts as alchemical silver weapons. You will
One
take a
less damage.
-1 penalty on damage rolls, but it is a masterwork weapon, so it's +1 on your attack rolls. So yeah, using the weapon, you're gonna have -1 on your damage with it, but it is silver, so things like lycanthropes take additional damage. Certain creatures will have damage reduction and tougher defenses, which the silver cuts through. Things like that.
And silver has very interesting medical applications.
If the silver dagger disappears when in Asmoth's hands, you now know why.
Sorry.
But go on. I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh no, I just sneezed really loudly and apologized. That was
You sneezed so loudly your mic didn't pick it up.
yeah, it was very loud.
Impressive.
All right, in that case, I'll move us on. Who picks up the gold, or do you split it out between you 6? Because Evie is here, she's just being quiet.
How much is there?
150.
So what I hate to be Mr. Boring over here, but what's the party's opinion on buying a load of healing potions?
Very sensible.
Agreed.
150 gold. If we can find somebody selling for about the going rate is 3 healing potions, which I think does us more good than 150 gold, as far as I can tell, unless anybody happens to be a cleric. Looks round.
I can concoct healing drafts, but I have yet to discover how to make them so that I can actually grant their efficacy to another person.
You can make healing potions as an alchemist. You can make them as potions. They just take time, and you don't use the extract. So it's not an infusion, unless it's your archetype thing.
Yeah. Oh no, I forget that I have.
And you
So
get them
one
at
of
like
potion.
a third of
I
the
can-
price as well. You
can-
make freaking tons.
yeah, the
can-
thing with the alchemist is you have your equivalent of a spell book, and I believe that you can study a potion like a wizard would study a scroll in order to add the formula to your formula book, and then you can make potions on the cheap.
Suppose I could also use that money to make us some more curative drafts.
Yeah, so I think from only from playing My Alchemist, this is I think if you have to look it up, but I think you might be able to make one for half the price overnight. It kind of depends on the time. It might be an hour per level actually, so you might be able to make a few depending on how much time you put towards it.
I could ask Gareth, but he's downstairs. So
Brewing a potion takes 2 hours if its base price is 250 gold or less.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
so 2 hours
that's
then.
less than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to take you 2 hours to brew a single cure light potion, but yeah, it's at a third of 50 gold.
To brew
Yeah.
a potion, you must use up raw materials costing 1/2 its base price.
Half its base price. So 25 gold
I could take that gold and make 6 restorative drafts.
I'm sold.
It'll take me
I'm
about
pro
6,
restorative drafts.
it will take me about 6 hours.
I'd much rather be alive than rich.
Is it 12 hours? Is it 2 hours per potion?
Sebastian, I must ask, is it too much to ask for both?
No, many people achieve that, but
Gideon will
Some
reach
do
into
not
his
deserve
purse.
it, though.
Gideon will reach into his purse and pull out 5 platinum coins and put them in your hand and say, "Add 2 more. We're in for a penny, in for a pound."
Very, very well.
So it is 2 hours per potion. So 6 potions would be 12 hours. 8
Oh, yes,
potions
no,
would
good.
be. You said 6 hours.
I
I
thought-
think you were
I
originally
was thinking-
thinking of the 3.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
It's late and my maths is
It's fine. It's fine. That's what I'm here for. So yeah, 6 potions would do 12 hours. 8 potions would be 14 hours. You do have most of this day, and you can also have the morning or some of the morning to brew as fast as you can. I think the cap for crafting in a day is 8 hours. Am I right in that? So you can make
Yeah,
4
that sounds
today.
about right.
Yeah, you can make 4 today, basically.
But then I've got my own preparations in the
Yeah.
morning
Mhm.
to factor in as well, so I don't want to take up too much time in the morning for that.
Yep, that's fair.
it doesn't all
Um,
have to be done now.
No,
as
you
much.
you can
could.
keep hold of that pot and then just keep on crafting whenever you've got a spare 2 hours, basically.
I'm more than happy to do that. Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
Sorry, I'm enjoying the memes.
We
All right.
We seem to be decided on a course of action.
I will see you all tomorrow.
Best of luck.
Okay. So I'll say that we will head off with Sebastian and Albrecht first, as they are doing some rumor gathering.
I don't want to overly drag this out. I just want to make a couple of gather information checks and see if I can
Yeah.
find out. I really want to know, like, what the mood of the city is after the riots. I guess is my first more general one.
Cool. All right. Do you gather information for me then? That's be a diplomacy check.
I'm rolling wonderfully. So no, that's not good. That's a 9. I rolled a 3.
I mean, you don't need a particularly high diplomacy check to get the mood of tension and dread and despair that is starting to permeate through the city. Nobody is talking, really, or at least not at this point, but you don't need that to just feel the atmosphere.
Yeah.
The protest ended in possibly not the worst way possible, but pretty close to the worst way possible, with the way that it just turned to utter chaos. And now that it's been, actually, how long has it been?
Takes D4 hours to make a
It does
gather
take D4
information.
hours.
To make a
So
gather
I
information check.
rolled low on that one, so it takes you an hour to basically kind of walk through the city and feel like the kind of still like edge of the chaos and panic and everything else dim around you until you're walking through the city at possibly the quietest you've ever heard it during the day. Like,
Okay.
if it wasn't for the fact the sun was still in the sky, you'd think you were getting close to curfew.
Yeah. And then I would like to ask around possibly a little bit more generally about people being taken into custody off the streets before today but after the night of Ashes. I'm trying to hone in on what might have happened to Wist's wizard master without actually going what happened to that wizard over there, but
Yeah.
like asking in the right sort of places. There's seeing if like important shop owners have been taken in this district, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Roll another diplomacy check for me then.
Haha! I did not roll a 3.
You did not roll a 3.
24.
I'd offer to help, but you don't need it.
So you're asking about. So you're not asking about, but you're trying to get a sense of.
Yeah, I'm trying
people
to
that
subtly inquire about Wist's wizard.
All right. So considering that all you've got so far is a name and that
Name.
they're a wizard, Whisk didn't really
And
give you
where
a
they
dis-
work.
So you've
Sorcerer's
got
Sundries.
yeah. So you don't necessarily get a sense of her specifically.
Yep.
You do know that the shop, which was called Sorcerer's Supplies,
Mm-hmm.
is based out of, where did we put it again? We put it
In the docks, isn't it?
Yes, in the harbour. So
Yeah.
it's near. So you know it's near Yolobilis Harbour, which tells you two things. First of all, there's a bunch of rumors flying around there about Clenched Jaws, which it was a fairly chill tavern, has gone to the dogs kind of thing, and also before today, the harbour had been a hotbed of Datari and guards and just general chaos because you will know from previous excursions and just wonders or rumours around the city that there was an inn around there which a small group of Maloney followers tended to frequent. Maloney followers who have now also gone to ground in the wake of the Night of Ashes. So any kind of the status quo in the harbour was very much shaken up before the Night of Ashes, and then the Night of Ashes hit and it very much dialed up to 11. You don't get anything about Lamry specifically. It's Lamry, isn't it? Yeah.
That's fine. I think that's quite a lot of gathering information. That's probably a couple of D4 hours worth. So even if it's another low roll, I will then attempt to get Blue Blood to head back to the Nobles' Quarter and see if we can do it without getting arrested.
Okay.
I'll see whose ears are still open.
All right. Oh, I've just found the name of the inn that the Maloney followers used to go to, which was the Thrashing Badger.
Nice name.
Yeah, it was a nice name. That place is now closed. I should know it's not closed. Sorry, it got burned down.
How could that have happened in this city?
I know, right? Oh, one thing that you will hear. I just found it and I lost it again.
In this economy.
Here we go. One of the things that you do hear, because you're hearing about prisoners and you're kind of keeping that ear out, you do hear somebody talking about how the guard towers are currently so full of. This is before the protest, by the way. The guard towers are so full of prisoners. They're keeping those they arrest in warehouses, and someone even says that they're putting prisoners to work in various places across the city, like the salt works and things like that, because they have too many prisoners and they don't know what to do with them, basically.
Sounds ripe for jailbreak.
That is an unsustainable level.
Perfect. Good info gathering.
Cool. You've still got plenty of hours left in the day as well, because that literally took you 2 hours. I rolled 1 and 2 d4s. So you've still got, I mean, at this point, I'd say after having the conversation with Rexus and the conversation between the rest of you, it's mid-afternoon. It's probably gone 3. So you've got another 6 hours until curfew.
Okay. I will look over Blueblood. Do you think we should ask, see if anybody else is thinking of or has been causing trouble? Or is that a bit much?
We have the perfect excuse for the moment in the new proclamation, which is going to cause a great deal of distress to any merchant, sailor, anyone who uses the waterways. That is a good way to gauge someone's feelings without revealing our hand.
Okay. I would like to see if there are any groups, not exactly plotting rebellion, because that would be ridiculous. Who would do that in this city? But any likely groups of possibly rebellious recruits about, people who
Okay.
might be keen to join us.
All right. That will be. I'll make it a diplomacy check. It's not quite a gather information, but it's still that kind of.
I have other skills. Do you
What
want me
other
to-
skills do you have? Do you want to throw some out at me if you want to use something else?
I've got bluff, diplomacy, knowledge local, sense motive.
You know what? I'd say you can either do a knowledge local to try to like recognize any kind of names or rumors that you're hearing about to kind of point you in directions of people who may be of a rebellious nature, like maybe of a rebellious nature whose names are still being said around the city. Or if Albrecht wants to set you up in a conversation, you can then use a sense motive to kind of get a read on people as Albrecht's schmoozing them up.
I will, as I'm working together with Albrecht, I might as well do the sense motive while he's talking to
Okay.
them.
So Albrecht, if you get a diplomacy check for me, please. Oh, perfect.
20
Whereabouts are you guys doing this, by the way? Because that's gonna kind of tell me
So-
what you find.
So probably going for merchants. So like basically like just below the level of nobility.
Okay.
So,
Are
like,
you going
bottom
up
plus
to the? Are you going up to the harbour then, the merchant district?
Yeah.
Cool. So you very much find so you very much find still that quite heavy presence. There is chaos coming from the various boats and the various ships that are docked up. People are moving on and off the boats, but they all seem to be lower hands and things like that. There are a few officers wandering around. Most of the noise is coming from the boats. There isn't a lot of chaos in the harbour proper. Albrecht can chat up a fair few of what look like the merchants who you either know your family's dealt with before, or ones who you can tell are some of the wealthier ones. And Sebastian gets a sense motive off. Let me just have a look what we've got. So most of the merchants go through Varshnastil shipyard. You're looking for people though. You know what? You hear two names, I reckon. One of them I'm going to have to pull up from the other book though, because actually I might not have to. It might be in here somewhere. Aha, here we go. So you will find. Okay, so the first name that you hear is the name The Rose of Kintargo. Somebody just in passing, like while you're kind of in the middle of everything else, says, any chance any chance you've heard from the Rose at all? And there's like, nah. Now they completely they've gone completely vanished since the Badger burned down. They're probably dead. It's like, it's the Rose of Kintargo. They can't go down that easy, surely. And the other thing that you hear You hear, I need to look into another book to try to find this name that I'm after. And now I need to remember which book it's in. It's in that one or is it in that one? Basically, you guys get an ear out of a ship with a captain on it who is all of the captains at this point are incredibly peeved, at the very least, about this turn of events. But but this one captain seems to be very much feel angrier than most. And I find them now is the question. No, that's a different thing. I'm trying to find it as quickly as I can.
If it's not easy to hand, you could just give me a code name. The Angry Captain.
Angry Captain. You hear about Angry Captain for now. Who is definitely someone to check in on later, but the ships are so busy at the moment actually getting onto the ships without express purpose right now or express business. Even those who actually have business with the ships are finding it hard to get onto them right now. But you can make a note of the name for later. That one and the Rose of Kintargo.
Done.
Anything else you want to do while you're here, or is that going to be?
That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot of wandering around talking.
Cool. All right.
I want to make sure I'm home before curfew.
Yep, that's fair. Asmoth, you are heading back to Red Roof, I believe, and brewing for the rest of the day. Is there anything else in particular you want to do?
Just noting that while brewing up from outside of his little pokey thing, people will probably hear him singing very loudly, very off key, very heavily accented nursery rhymes.
All right, fair enough. Oh, I found the name. Okay. Captain Cassius Sargeta is the name that comes across, which is, if you guys make a knowledge local check for me, just to see.
I'm not trained in that.
I do not roll well, so probably
You do not roll well. Albrecht, you did hear this name. Do you have local?
Just nobility.
Okay, then that's fine. So you guys hear the name Captain Cassius Sargeta as one who is particularly peeved at this turn of events. But you cannot get onto her ship, which is check. Oh, his ship, sorry. Oh yeah, so the ship is the Scourge of Belial. Belial. Scourge of Belial. That's the name that you get. Asmoth is singing nursery rhymes off key while making potions. Gideon and Whist, what are you guys doing for the rest of your day?
And I believe we're heading back. I mean, like, unless Gideon has anything else he wants to do, like, getting back and storing a load of armor sounds like a good idea. I feel like walking through town holding
I've put the
loads of armor and an extra halberd is in itself too much attention. and I've got a cover story, but not for the whole day.
Yeah, I've crammed the armor into my backpack as best I can, and I'm probably shouldering the halberd so I look like either a city guard or a private mercenary. The only stop I'd like to make is to a shop to buy some alcohol. I would like to buy a gallon of mead for 2 gold pieces, please.
You can definitely get to. I mean, the shops are subdued, but they are still open, so you can get to a shop and buy supplies.
Cool, cool. I get my mead.
All right.
Yeah. And then I'll lead him back to the shop, go in the back door entrance round back by the bins, and yeah, just into the sort of up through the stockroom and into the sort of like little flat that's above, 2 doors leading off in the corridor. One's locked and the other whisked opens, and it's his bedroom. And yeah, he'll lead you in and like get some blankets and like some pillows like out of a maybe there's like a big cupboard at the top of the stairs. It's just got a load of bedding in it and like old blankets and like spare stuff like that. He'll just like set you up a little bed on the ground, given that his bed is size for a gnome. So it's less out of impoliteness and more that he genuinely doesn't think you'll fit.
Gideon will take his tankard from his belt and will set up I presume it's a small barrel of mead on a surface, and will pour out a cup into there and will pass it to Whist.
Oh, right. It's all right. Yeah, okay. Solange. Yeah, he'll drink. He's not going to get absolutely wrecked, but he doesn't drink very much, so he's probably pleasantly tipsy after like 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, after that we'll hit the tea instead. This isn't really his speed, but he'll certainly drink with you to begin.
That was a blessing of hospitality. Gideon is not a very good priest, but is still
right.
a member of the clergy.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I'm sure we'll feel a lot more homely with that there. Sorry, I'm not really used to a lot of, religious stuff, but yeah, to you and yours.
To your health.
Yeah, he'll happily drink with you and then eventually invite you to tea if you'd like some tea.
I will accept the tea. I will have 2 beverages.
Yeah, that's fair. He will then move to 1. Cool. And then yeah, unless there's anything that Gideon particularly wants to ask or do, like I don't really have much that I'm after tonight. Like there's a lot kind of going, like it's been a long day. And apparently we're gonna go fight ghosts in the morning. So
Rest and prayer.
yeah. Yeah, I think a good kip is probably the best thing. It's not how I was expecting the day to go, but here we are.
Okay. If your conversation strays into small talk or strays off, I will bring us into the next day. So you guys are able to get a full night's rest. Regain any spells. If any of you are still missing hit points, it is your hit die / your level plus your con that you get back overnight. So it should be 1 plus your constitution modifier.
Done.
Okay. In that case, looking at the time, I'll set us up for the next bit, and then we'll probably call it there for next time. But we'll set us up for the next bit. So, in the morning or going into the morning towards mid to late morning, I'd say, to give you guys time to set up and get to where you need to go. Whist and Gideon from the harbour, everyone else from wherever they are meeting up, all meet at, I will say, the place in Red Roof that's easy to find is, where's Red Roof gone? Here it is. So there is a Red Roof Market, so you guys can find each other quite easily in Red Roof Market, which is kind of in the middle of that area, that district. Before the 6 of you plus Rexus all head down together. It's a bit of a walk to get down to the livery. So if there's any conversations that you want to have amongst yourselves or that you want to have with Rexus, you can do. Otherwise, I'll get you over to your next location.
Yeah, I feel like I'd probably ask Sebastian if he'd heard anything. But like we're out in the open, so Wisp wouldn't go into like a full recount, would just be like, did you hear anything, rather than
I asked her. I'll speak in gnome because.
all right, yeah, sure, yeah,
And
we
that
can
might
have
be
a
a bit
chat gnome.
And say I asked around, but I didn't really get a lot of information. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's not impossible that somebody who's a community leader, a shop owner was taken up, but I didn't get anything concrete. I'll keep my ears open. That's the best I can do. I'm sorry.
No, you've already done loads. Thanks.
Well, nobody should have their friends locked up.
Yeah, well, hopefully she isn't. That she's smarter than that. She's probably fine.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, fine. You don't need a sense motive roll. He doesn't think she's fine.
I feel like you don't need a sense motive roll. Whis doesn't think she's fine. It's the nice lie we tell ourselves.
We have some places to search if the worst has happened.
Yeah, so look, I know we're very new to this, but I got a couple of names of some other people who don't seem to be happy with what's going on. And also we found out a lot about some overcrowded prisons and some warehouses which have been made over into storage for unruly citizens. It sounds like it might be quite easy to get some people out.
That's good.
I mean, if they're overcrowded and undermanned, that sounds like an opportunity. But let's have a safe house to work from first.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, you guys please place yourself around where Rexus is on this map as you come to the Fair Fortune livery.
So just a little bit before we get here, I split off for about a minute, and when I come back,
yeah,
I'm ready to do some active adventuring.
We're not doing what we did last session this time. Got it. Good to know. Okay. So this aged stable leans slightly to one side, its roof precariously propped up by aged wooden walls. The air reeks of stale urine. Lovely. Broken desks, scuffed tables, and torn chairs crowd the... Oh, hang on. You don't know that bit yet. Because you're not inside. But what you do see is this stable leaning off to one side with, as you come up to it, these huge set of double doors that are fully chained up with a padlock in the chains, and just from the wind, as it were, they're just kind of waving slightly in the wind.
Not the most auspicious start for Silver Ravens.
Okay. Guys would like to explore. What do you guys do? We'll start with that. As you approach this this abandoned stable, basically.
Do you have the key, my lord?
No. Absolutely no, unfortunately not. Also, please don't call me that. I think at this point, Rexus is safer, if nothing else.
Sorry, old habits.
I thought there was a key amongst those.
Oh,
effects.
yes. No, that is sentimental. More than anything else, that won't get us in here.
Give it a try. Does not hurt to test.
He pulls out the key, and you guys, now that you're examining it closely, can see that the key is actually made of mithril. And is rather large, ornate, and very fancy. And just by a quick look of it, you can tell that it's not going to match that
Yeah.
the bog standard padlock. It's not going to match this. He's like,
I mean, that's a really fancy stable if they made a key like that for it. I
Yeah.
I don't think it would be that fancy, and he puts it back in his pocket.
Okay. Sebastian's going to go up to the chain
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to take, because he's actually brought a weapon to this fight because wasn't going. He's going to put the
One moment. Do we wish to leave it so that people can see that and think this place has been broken into? Or would we rather be a bit more subtle?
Circumspect. If you have a better method of opening it.
Suddenly from inside Asmoth's coat, there's just something starts poking out, and he just grabs a little pouch, which he opens, and it shows there's a load of like little tools and things in there. I might be able to circumvent.
Good luck to you.
That would be a disable device check, please.
Sure.
Oh, beautiful. That is a Okay, cool. Yeah, that is easy for you. So you pull out these tools, you get into the lock, and with just a few twists and clicks, the lock clicks open, and as you pull it out, the chains are already starting to kind of unravel away from the doors, and you can then pull these open.
A man of many talents.
Genau.
All right.
Surgeon and burglar, I see.
You push these doors open, and you first of all, you can tell that this place has not been used in ages just by how loudly the doors creak as they open. But beyond the creaking, you guys hear the foreboding sound of growls as you open this area and see a series of very starved and very angry looking dogs prowling around in in these stables, led by one much larger mastiff, which is, I'm gonna say, the one with the blue spot on it is the mastiff. The rest of them are all much smaller mutts. The Mastiff definitely seems to be the leader of this little pack. And they all turn to the door growling. Like proper teeth snarled, hackles raised kind of thing.
I don't suppose you've got as much skill with calming angry dogs as you do with locks.
Um,
I have one
I mean-
method.
I mean, I might if you give me a sec. I'll cast speak with animals. I'm a gnome.
Okay. Would you guys are currently still outside, so to interact with the dogs, you are gonna have to step inside.
Yeah, if someone will come with me.
I'll do that.
Well, we could
Yeah.
we could all do that. We could make sure you're not unprotected.
Cool. So everybody steps inside, and the second you step inside, the smaller mutts all immediately start barking and growling, and just it's a cacophony of noise from all of you, from all of them. And yeah, you guys get in. Wisp. They don't attack immediately, but they are incredibly angry.
Yeah.
And you cast speak with animals, I believe. Let me just check how speak with animals work. You can ask questions and receive animals from answers, but the spell doesn't make them any more friendly than normal.
Yeah, so you have to like it's like basically giving you the chance of a
Cool.
diplomacy rather than a handle animal, I guess, because you're like
Right.
chatting to them.
You cast speak with animals, and the barks and the growls immediately the magic immediately translates it in your head to intruder, danger, leave, angry, leave.
Yeah, I'll put my hands up and I'll make myself quite small. I'm already quite small.
Oh no, that
and
makes them worse.
does that make them worse?
That makes them worse.
Okay.
You get small, and they even, if anything, they get even angrier, more ferocious.
Fine, I'll stand up. They're clearly used to a firm hand, which is depressing. And I'll say, we're not intruders. We're here to feed you.
Food.
Yes, but only if you're quiet.
They start barking louder. They are demanding food.
Yeah, no, they said I'll say we'll give you food if you are quiet.
You can make a diplomacy check for me.
Yeah.
This won't be easy. Are you trying? So with this diplomacy check, I want to check. Are you trying to improve their attitude towards you, or are you trying to get them to do something?
I think at this, like I've said food because I know it will get their attention. I think giving them the food will improve their attitude towards me. And I'm hoping that between us we've got rations to do that. I mean, I literally don't, but I'm hoping I'm with some adventurers. Maybe they do. And I think here I'm just going to try and get them to quieten down so that I can think through it, because at the moment it's all very loud and someone else might come and that would render this whole useless.
So right now, are you trying to?
Yeah, so I'm trying to get them to stop barking for
Okay.
now.
Cool.
If I
That's
give
fine.
them food, then I'll be trying to make them more my pal.
No, it's absolutely fine. I'm just double checking stuff.
12. It's not super
Unfortunately,
great.
not no. No, I've got the DC now to try to get these them to stop talking. You do not make that DC. So
Mm.
when you say that, actually what happens is this closer one kind of almost dies for. They start actually crowding you,
Mhm.
demanding more, demanding even more. It's like food now, food.
Yeah. I'll say to the others, like they're hungry. Has anyone got some like rations they can just throw into the opposite corner of the barn? Then we might get a chance to talk to the boss.
I will reach into my pack. I've got some trail rations, which is probably going to be jerky.
Yeah, there'll be some jerky in there you can throw.
Yeah, I'll chuck it into the room.
All right. Anywhere in particular?
Here.
Yeah, you can throw it over there. Those two that are closest immediately dive for it, trying to eat it and also biting at each other. That one will go over as well, but these two are watching you still and are still very much agitated and being defensive and aggressive. Intruders is what
Anybody else got any jerky?
I've still got rations in my bag if we need more.
Like if we can distract that last one that's not the mastiff, maybe we can talk to the mastiff. But I
out.
can't. There's
Ouch.
just a lot of them here.
I'll give you 2 portions of trail rations to throw wherever you wish.
Yeah, I mean, if we
Like
can.
2 pounds of jerky.
That's a large jerky. These are very hungry dogs. Like the mastiff is half starved, you can tell, and that's the
Yeah,
bigger one. Like
if
none
we
of
can
these dogs
throw
are very
them
well.
like here.
About where? Okay.
Sorry, it's yellow on that
Yeah,
sort of
yeah, yeah.
pale colour. It's hard to see.
It's fine. So you throw it closer to the mastiff, and the mastiff does pause for a moment as it kind of looks at the jerky, but it looks to it, then at you, then at it, then at you, and then it will come over here and start sniffing at the food. And this one will come over. They start kind of milling around the various piles of jerky that you've left.
Yeah. I'll say, you've all been really, really, really good. We think you've done so well, and we're here to let you out once you've had your dinner. But we need to know who else is in here, in case of they are intruders.
Intruders.
Yeah,
Mean
not
intruders.
us.
Mean.
Not us.
Mean.
You're such a good boy.
You feel like if this was like a domestic dog,
Yeah,
this
this would have
would
worked.
probably be working.
Yeah.
The dog seems
And
a bit too feral for the compliments to. Actually, no. Make a diplomacy check for me to see if you can improve its mood.
Awake is in that good boy.
can I cast enhanced diplomacy on myself, to give myself a +2 to this roll?
Yes, you can.
So a 16 with the +2.
What did I say? They. All right. That is doing maths real quick in my head. Yeah, because you've already given them the food, which would do that, and then oh, you just missed a DC by 1.
Aww.
So you've taken them from hostile to unfriendly through the food, I'd say. But the diplomacy attempt there wasn't enough to bring them to indifferent. So they are still very much guard up, even as they're starting to eat the food.
With my knowledge of the local area,
Mhm.
Am I aware of where the closest butcher is?
This is probably the butcher before it turned into a stable.
It's
Let
not
me
one in not one in the same quarter.
where's the quarter state stuff gone? There is that. So there will be a butcher's around. It's probably going to be near the market, if anywhere, which is a
Great.
bit of a trek. Not a bit of a trek. It's a bit of a trek with a feral dog.
I wasn't going to take the dog to the market. I was going to go to the market, buy what I would describe as a large amount of poor quality meat, and then dump it in the corner.
It's so if I can I
If it's too far away for such a plan to be plausible, I'm willing to accept that. But if
it will be a while to get there and back.
I mean,
You
it
just
would
walk
be
from the market to get here.
it would be very, very annoying if I also decide to miss this action sequence as well.
To feed the dogs. To be
ju-
fair, you
just
have fed the dogs.
we have fed the dogs. I can't talk to them. I can't feed them. I didn't bring any rations. I think I will consider my options and not find a good one.
Okay.
Is anyone good at like animal handling? Like I've tried chatting to them, but I mean they're really adamant on us being intruders. So if anyone's just good at like, calming them down.
My bedside manner is not so great.
Wrong kind of priest.
That'll be a no then from the sounds of it.
Yeah, blue blood, you're not.
I don't conduct many conversations with animals, no.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not expecting you to do that. Yeah, never mind. Look, what's our plan? Like, we can probably keep them distracted with jerky, but like, I think if we go too far, they're going to attack us. I don't.
I can only give you the
I
distasteful
don't really know
option.
what else we can easily do, unless we kind of go for a completely different route in.
I mean, one of us could try and move around the edge of the room away from where they are and see how they react, so we can search around them.
Yeah.
So obviously they can see me. I'm not not trying this, but maybe if I use some stealth, I can move sort of inconspicuously around
Yeah.
the parts of the room they aren't, to have a look around and see if I can spot things.
Yeah, you can do that.
I'll give that a try. Let's see if I'm stealthy.
Is there any illumination in the room? I assume not.
There are windows in the walls and stuff, but aside from that, no.
Have they not been boarded up or anything?
There is enough coming through like the slats of the boards in order to be able to see. In some areas it will probably be going into more like low light vision almost. In some of the like darker corners.
I'll pick up a pebble off the floor and cast light on it.
Okay.
And hand it over to you.
I will take it, but I will keep it in my closed hand until I need it.
Yep. Okay,
And
you can it doesn't completely put it out, but it very much suppresses the glow.
And then I'm going to try and do some sneaking.
All right. Do the sneak. You do very much. You are very much able to move. How well are you trying to move through this stable? Like, what's your path?
Well, I want to avoid the good boys, so I think I'm probably going to start off kind of going through the gap.
Yeah.
And then try and once I get past them, search the back. Obviously, I can see that there's some letters on the map, and I'm trying really hard not to metagame. But once I'm past the doggos, I will search like the back bits, because that would be far away from them, so as not to wind them up.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get past them with that stealth check. They have at this point given into their hunger, it
I-
seems.
Okay, at this point, I would like to drop the light pebble sort of back here so that the
Yeah.
back is illuminated.
Cool. You do that, and you see that those two rooms to your left there are back offices. If you go to investigate them, they are mostly empty. It seems that when they cleared the place, when this place was abandoned, they cleared it out. There's an old desk, there's a chair, if you check in the cupboards, they're all empty. Make a perception or a survival check for me, please.
I would love to. Let me find out which of those is marginally better than the other. Let's do perception. Blimey, I'm on fire now. Couldn't fight. Good at spotting.
Nice. You very easily see really strange footprints across the floor, like in the dust. But it isn't just on the floor, it's on the floor, it's on the desks, it's in the cupboards. These kind of almost like clawed baby footprints kind of have skittered everywhere across these offices. What knowledge checks do you have?
Okay, so knowledges I have. What have I got ranks in? It's local really that I can do
Just
knowledge
local?
wise. Yeah. Well, local or history because I've got a trait that lets me do history. But yeah, local or history.
Neither of those will work for this. You
I didn't think so.
can't work out what on earth these tracks are supposed to be, but they're little clawed tracks, and they're just kind of skittering over everything in the dust.
Okay. Have the dogs reacted to the light? Are they still kind of where they were?
The dogs are very much where they are,
Great.
fighting over the rations.
I will continue to search and head to the other side of the room.
Okay. So over here, you mean?
I sort of mean down this side because I think I looked here first.
Yes, you did. So you've looked over here already.
So now I'm
So
now. Yeah.
if you get to about here,
Yep.
you're able to see an iron gate, which is locked. Oh, that's not particularly well put out, is it? Yeah, okay. So while you were exploring in the back offices, one of the offices you find it's completely cleared of everything. However, fallen behind one of the cupboards, you do see an old key.
Well, I'd be a fool not to take it.
Yeah. So when you get to here, you see this iron gate leading to a narrow hallway with a bunch of let me just have a look. There's a bunch of like kind of chains and stuff on the ceiling. Actually, yeah, no. So there's kind of like chains around the side near the gate. There's like this kind of hole in the gate, which somebody possibly as small as Whist might be able to squeeze through, but you'd only be able, but someone of your size or like a bigger animal would only be able to get like part of them, like maybe their head through this hole. Any more than that is going to be with difficulty. And you're able to see Make another perception check for me, just because of the way you're looking through the bars.
That's totally reasonable. Let's see if I can just click on that.
That will be
16.
enough because it's a fairly obvious check. You can see as you peer through, you can see these kind of chains and stuff, and a baby halfway down this hallway on the right. It feels like there should have been like a perfect seam of a wall, but half of the wall has dropped, is hanging to one side, very much like a broken door would, which reveals another room on the other side.
Okay. I will try and call out in a relatively normal speaking voice. I found something, a secret door, a secret chamber. If you think you can make it past the dogs quietly, they didn't seem to, as long as you're not interfering with them, they did let me past. I've also got a key, but I don't know if it's for the grate. But it's a start.
Single file then.
Yeah.
Rexus, if you want to come to the middle of the column.
Yeah, absolutely. I will do that. He says as he sidles up.
Let's go. Single file.
Okay. I won't make you guys roll stealth checks to be quiet because you guys are going to be moving carefully through this. A couple of the dogs do growl at you as you go past, but not to the point that they are like lashing out at you. You are very much minding your own business at some point. You have given them food. So I'll move Whist up as well. As you
Thank
guys
you. Sorry.
get to this area. That's fine.
I'll point out all the things I found and hand the key across to Asmuth.
While you do that, does anybody want to make? Does everybody run through your knowledge checks to see if you can identify the tracks?
I would love to know whether this is a knowledge, religion, or arcana check.
It's not religion or arcana for the tracks.
Cool. No, then I can't do it.
Is it nobility?
It is not nobility.
I feel like we need dungeoneering or the planes or something like that.
It does feel quite plainsy.
Or nature?
Does anyone have planes or nature?
No.
Cool. All right. They're weird ass tracks.
Does our noble friend have the planes or nature, given he seems to be some kind of spellcaster?
What knowledge does he have?
So that almost...
He looks about as in the dark about the tracks as you do.
That almost sounds like some sort of weird sort of euphemism for some sort of like socially maligned disease. Like, does he have the planes?
He does not have the planes.
A raging case of the outer planes.
Okay.
I'll turn on detect magic and see if there's any pings in the room.
There are no pings around this area at all. If Asmoth investigates the grate, he does very much see that there is. Go on.
So first, before that, so is there anything that has like any water nearby? Like
No.
relatively potable water? Okay. Does anybody have any water wisdom?
I can create water.
That will do. Do we have a container?
I mean, I've got some cups and a flask. I don't have like a.
That will do. As long as we have some sort of containers to hold the water, I can transmute the water into a moderately potable weak alcohol that will actually sharpen our senses for about 10 minutes.
Oh, right. I definitely thought you were going to say acid then. I was going to say, I really don't want you to ruin my flask. But yeah, if it's something that's not going to ruin the flask, then sure. I'll create water.
There is the flask. You can probably find like an old bucket. It'll have some holes in it and leak a bit as you do water a bit. It'll like hold it enough in order to be able to do this extract that you're casting, Asmoth.
Yep.
If you wanted something bigger, you
Just
could definitely find
as
that in
long-
here.
Up to 1 cubic foot per 2 levels. So
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be 1 cubic foot, but as long as it's up to, as long as I have enough to make enough for all of us to have a
yeah, you can all have a sip,
cheeky sip.
a cheeky sip of, is it Tears to Wine?
Yes.
doing? Yeah.
So that is a +2 enhancement bonus on all intelligence and wisdom based skill checks for anybody who drinks for
Cool.
the next 10 minutes. And I will.
Amazing.
Okie dokie. Love that.
Blessing indeed.
Okay, in that case, if you guys investigate the grate, you do see that there is a lock on this grate.
Cool. Does the
which-
key fit?
The key does fit, that's why I went back and told him about it. It should have been in one part of the book, but it was literally the next page down.
Classic
So-
Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Describe it in the grate, not in the book, in the room you're.
Yeah, exactly. It's not in the room, it's in the bit after. But you guys are able to get the grate open quite easily. Push your way through. Where's my fog? Where's my fog? That's my fog. Push your way through in order to reveal this room. Which is an old workroom housing numerous old slaughterhouse tools, veterinary equipment, and woodworking tools, all of which are covered with a thick layer of dust, through which strange tracks and patterns have been traced. Heavy mallets, crumbling ropes, and tools for restraining animals hang from pegs in the walls or rest atop leaning tables. And to the southwest, a trapdoor sits ajar, propped open by a block of wood.
Trapdoor, you say?
A trapdoor?
Can I do a cheeky perception check and see if I can hear anything?
Yeah, can do.
It's going to get a +2. Thanks to Asma. So 14.
At this point, you can hear the dogs kind of half growling, half snuffling in the other room. You can hear you guys moving around. You can't really hear anything from below the trapdoor. I'm just having a look to see what else is in here. If there's anything else. Okay. But yeah, no, there's the various tools and things like that. If you wanted to, you've made your perception check to try to hear anything else. The only important thing seems to be the trapdoor here. Everything else is just abandoned tools.
Oh.
Right. Let's not mess about. Let's head down.
All right.
Before we go, I just want to have a quick, reconnoiter myself. Asmoth will just sort of ease in and just kind of have a look about and sort of cock his head and try and listen a bit.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Even worse.
About the same as before. You guys are gathering in. You guys are gathering into the room. As you step in, Asmoth, you don't see or hear anything, but you suddenly get a chill down your back, like someone's just like you've just walked through a cold spot in the room.
Don't like that. I don't like that at all.
What is it?
Just feel like somebody walked over my grave.
It's probably the ghost.
Ugh.
Well, if it shows itself, we'll banish it.
There is a slam in the room as you guys see a hammer fly across the room.
Okay.
I want to sense motive this ghost.
Roll.
Detect magic?
This he's having me on. That's a 13. Oh, but it's a 15 because of Asimov's cheeky tincture.
The cheeky tincture does give you the +2. Let me check something about detect magic here because I'm trying to work out if it would detect this or not. Yeah, okay. So you cast detect magic. I'm assuming just focusing on the room in general to see if you can spot anything. You don't feel an aura in the room, but there's a sudden spark of magic against one of the walls as you guys see symbols start to appear in the dust on the far wall.
Some form of spell.
Do I get a sense of the vibe of this creature? Are they tricking us? Are they a ghost? It
You know
feels like
what?
they're doing a lot of things that are kind of like what I'd do if I were pretending to be a ghost. That's like the vibe I'm getting.
You know what? You can have that vibe. You can have that vibe if you want about it. The trapdoor is open and waiting. Would you guys like to what would you guys like to do? I'm just conscious of the time.
I go down.
All right.
I guess I want to see what symbol, like, is it symbols as in arcane magic? I did explosive rooms this morning, or is it like writing in common?
It's not writing in common. If you go to examine the rooms, roll an Arcana check for me.
Is it in a language like Infernal?
Question.
11, well, 13 with the thingy. Yeah, I do speak Celestial and Infernal, if that's relevant.
They are not magic symbols. It is a language. It's not a language that you can read.
All right. I'll say, sorry, mate. Don't speak that. Yeah, no, I don't understand. Do you speak common? I'll try all the languages.
Another hammer floats up in front of you, like kind of almost lifts off the air, floats in front of your face, and flies towards the trapdoor.
Right, so you want us to go down into the trapdoor?
Rattle, 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 rattle.
Well, all right. I mean, you don't have to be so intense about it. After you, then.
So Gideon, I believe, has already headed down. The rest of you can very much follow him. We will pick up what you find down the trapdoor next time, because that seems like a good place to end it.
Yay!
We didn't die.
We didn't die.
You guys didn't die. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, didn't hurt the doggos. Second, congratulations. Although it's going to be fun to get back up with those dogs after they've eaten and they remember that you're intruders.
We might have an alternate way out by then, maybe.
to wait and
We
see.
can't be intruders. We went in through the front door.
They're
Alright.
Bolton. They're Bolton.
All right. We'll wrap up there and we'll pick this up in a few weeks when we're able to find another date and time that we're all free. In the meantime, thank you again to our latest donation of £10 for tonight. We've got another £10 in the pot, and that makes me very happy. We'll try and be better with posting for the next session is up and getting the link out more. If anybody wants to make donations in between sessions, you can use your donations to affect the game. So if you want to add in an NPC, I've just added a new one which allows you to add a shop or a street or a tavern to the city if you want to name a place for these guys to go to in the future. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching and for listening. And I hope you had a very good time. And we'll see you next time.
See you next one.
Bye.
Well,
Bye.